The county that claimed to solve homelessness by shipping its homeless somewhere else is launching a new crackdown. An unwelcome welcome sign on Colorado's state line. The fine print leads to Donald Trump's biggest billionaire donor. A city asked for its yard signs back after illegally telling people to vote for a tax increase. We look at where the line is drawn.
What we don't have the responsibility, nor should we be doing, is advocating for or against an item.
A voice for people living on the streets is silenced after running out of funding.
It's just been a wonderful way to earn a living.
And together, we'll lift up a nonprofit pediatrician's office created by school nurses who realized their kids needed better access to medical care. Because when there are Coloradans in need, you don't just watch, because this is next. Douglas County has a new camping ban targeting the homeless. They already had a camping ban, but after a Supreme Court ruling, the county that ships people without a place to live somewhere else says it can take an even tougher approach. Here's Mark Salinger.
So, let us come to order.
The number of people homeless in Douglas County is very low. In fact, the county's gone so far as to declare the problem solved.
We were really pleased and honored to announce just a few weeks ago that Douglas County has officially ended homelessness.
Last night, county commissioners took another step. They say we'll keep it that way. The county passed a camping ban, its second in 2 years.
I think the camping ban is significant. Oftentimes we've seen cities like Seattle, San Francisco, Portland struggle and become victims of their own compassion.
The new ban was made possible by a Supreme Court decision this summer from a case out of Oregon. Grant Pass versus Johnson changed the law around the country, no longer requiring cities that implement a camping ban to have shelters available for people without a home. Prior to that decision, the county attorney says they were required to have a shelter before the camping ban could be enforced.
It is a very small change, but it is actually a very important change and reflective of the law across the United States at this time.
While Douglas County does have some services for people who are homeless, it does not have a full-time shelter. The county gives out motel vouchers and partners with a shelter in Aurora to send people needing housing there.
But the camping ban is all about reclaiming our public spaces. And Douglas County is a place where quality of life comes first, and we know our citizens expect a clean and safe environment.
Douglas County did a count earlier this year and determined they have only 6 people who are currently homeless. Compare that to somewhere like Denver, where more than 6,000 people are homeless. Commissioners in Dudco say they don't want to take the same path as Denver, Kyle.
Obviously, Denver has changed the situation around homelessness by spending a lot of money.
More than $150 million.
Has it changed the metro area situation with homelessness?
Yeah, from the numbers that we're seeing, unsheltered homelessness has continued to go up. Sheltered homelessness, they're moving a lot of people inside. That's going down. But there are more homeless people year over year when you compare 2023 to 2024 in Denver metro area as a whole.
Appreciate your continued coverage on this, Mark. Forget the iconic "Welcome to Colorful Colorado" signs. This state has a new welcome sign of sorts, less of a greeting, more of a warning for drivers coming down from Wyoming. Venezuela Ahead, be prepared, says the sign along I-25 southbound at the Wyoming-Colorado line. The billboard reads, paid for by Clipper Properties LLC, Tim Mellon, member. Tim Mellon is the name of Donald Trump's single biggest donor. The resident of Wyoming gave $125 million to a pro-Trump super PAC. That's according to Open Secrets, which tracks money in politics.
One of the issues with tracking Mellon's donations is that we really don't know at this point what is motivating him.
The New York Times calls Mellon a reclusive billionaire whose autobiography said the social safety net was essentially slavery and that blacks became, quote, even more belligerent after the expansion of social programs.
Up until recent years, he really existed within the shadows, at least in terms of the political arena. Only recently, in the last few cycles, has he started to pump money into elections.
Mellon and the lawyer connected to the LLC on the billboard did not respond to requests for comment, so we have not independently confirmed that it is the same Tim Mellon. The billboard is a reference to the presence of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua in the Denver metro area. This week, Aurora's police chief said the gang's footprint is small compared to other gangs. They've made 9 arrests. Lamar, the billboard company, says that billboard will stay up through Election Day. It costs $1,100 a month. Forbes says the Mellon family is worth $14 billion. So the secretive millionaire or billionaire, rather, putting their name on a billboard that is designed to get attention might seem like a pretty odd choice. you're curious about that, a representative for Lamar says that paid-for disclosure is actually their requirement for their billboards. Wheat Ridge police say the truck driver who caused a horrific crash on I-70, killing 3 people, is not going to face criminal charges. Investigators say the truck driver was going the speed limit that day in August, and police didn't find anything wrong with his truck. At the time, the speed limit in that construction zone was 60 miles per hour. Truck was going 59. I say at the time because weeks later, CDOT decided that was too fast. The new speed limit's 55. The truck that crashed happened to have been inspected by the Colorado State Patrol just 40 minutes before it tipped over. State Patrol found that it was legal on weight, brakes were working fine. So next we wait to see if a civil lawsuit will be filed. Being a government is hard. Just ask the people trying to be a government in Englewood. The city had to sue itself to get a Parks and Rec bond issue on the ballot, and now they are asking residents to return their yard signs saying vote yes, because it's illegal for the city government to ask people to vote yes or no. Being a government is hard. Here's politics guy Marshall Zellinger.
This bridge over a culvert in Englewood's Bard Park is not ADA compliant. It would be replaced with an ADA compliant crossing if voters say yes to the $41 million Parks and Rec bond issue that City Council put on the November ballot. A ballot issue that the city cannot spend tax dollars to encourage a yes or no vote, like these yes signs the city bought.
This was not something we should have done. We regret doing it, and here's how we want to try to make this right.
The Englewood Herald was the first to report the city of Englewood spent $2,100 on 250 yes signs. There is a state law called the Fair Campaign Practices Act that prevents cities and counties from spending tax dollars advocating for or against candidates or ballot issues. But the city bought these signs before the Parks bond qualified for the ballot.
While we were not in violation of the Fair Campaigns Practice Act by making this purchase before City Council finalized the ballot language for the ballot, it was not a wise use of our funds.
City Manager Sean Lewis laid out a timeline that the signs were ordered in July and paid for at the start of August, days before City Council approved the ballot issue. But it still says yes. Why would the city ever spend money on a sign that says yes?
Our Parks Department staff, which is younger, has not gone through a bond, just really didn't understand the public perception issue that could be caused by purchasing a sign that can be used to advocate for more tax dollars.
Now, the city has asked the group campaigning in favor of the bond issue to collect and return these signs that are still up today.
I personally have a sign at my house. I have not put it out in my yard because I heard of this. So do I need to bring that to the city?
We would ask that you do that.
Okay,
yes.
Thank you.
We're working to rectify that by making sure that everyone who asked for a sign and received a sign is actually now giving those signs back.
Yes, give them back. Englewood also has this webpage telling residents what the bond issue would do, which actually includes a pro and con, what it would do and why you should be opposed to it, yes and no. That's allowed under the Fair Campaign Practices Act. The city of Denver just pulled down a similar webpage for its ballot issue to add a half-cent sales tax for affordable housing. That page did not appear to have any con reasons. A spokeswoman for the mayor told me, Kyle, that the webpage was created before council approved the ballot issue, and the city pulled it down to avoid potential confusion now that it is on the ballot.
They got to follow the rules. And this is all over the place, right? So like in Jeffco right now, the county commissioners want to ask voters to be able to keep more tax revenue. And if I'm not wrong, they can spend money to like study the issue and study whether people are going to be good with doing that, but can't spend money to get people to do it.
Not only can they did. They spent $300,000 studying the issue, researching maybe if voters would say yes. Now, if they ever do put it on the ballot, that's as far as you can go. You can put the yes and no, why you should do it, why you shouldn't do it, but you cannot be spending taxpayer dollars or taxpayer time trying to advocate one way or the other.
Makes sense, yeah. You don't want to use taxpayers' money to tell taxpayers what to do at the polls. Marshall, thank you. Hey, want to let you know about a debate that we have in Colorado's closest congressional race. It will be here October 8th. Next presents the race for Congress, an hour-long debate between Democratic Congresswoman Yadira Caraveo and her Republican challenger, Gabe Evans. It will air in place of Next at 6 p.m. on October 8th. You can watch it live on 9 News and streaming on 9 News Plus. If you happen to live in the 8th Congressional District, so that's Adams County, northern suburbs of Denver, up into Weld County, I would like to hear directly from you about the issues that matter most to you and your community. Maybe you're seeing something that we're not. Your thoughts will spark conversation in our debate, I promise you. So if you live in the district and you have thoughts, email me, next@9news.com, or now you can text me, 303-871-1491. So there's a pediatrician's office in Jefferson County that will not turn away a family due to their inability to pay. A nonprofit pediatric clinic making healthcare accessible and affordable for every kid. Our Word of Thanks microgiving campaign this week supports the Caring Clinic and the families it serves. For families without insurance, the Caring Clinic is a godsend. For families with Medicaid, which is the vast majority of their patients there, they can sometimes find themselves unable to get an appointment at other clinics, which limit the number of their Medicaid patients because the government doesn't provide full reimbursement. Around since 1997, serving families on the west side of the metro area, Caring Clinic turns no one away for financial reasons. They began their work with 2 school nurses who realized how many of their students did not have a place to go for health care. Decades later, that clinic still open 5 days a week, on call 24/7, providing thousands of clinic visits a year to keep kids healthy, which keeps the community healthy. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to get that link to donate to the Caring Clinic. Your millions of dollars in microgiving proves that even $5 helps, so as always, I'll match the first 50 donations of $5 to get us rolling. And more than 3,000 of you have simplified your giving and built sustainability into our Word of Thanks microgiving by making a monthly donation to the Word of Thanks Fund. That means that each recent microgiving campaign has started with $23,000 in the bank. Use the same QR code or text to get there. A roving air quality lab roved around Commerce City in search of pollution. I know you're thinking Suncor, but they actually found some surprising results.
I plan on talking to people and doing my best to help keep this place open, so I have a job.
It's a common story. Newspapers unable to stay afloat. One in Denver hopes that its unique mission will keep it alive. While Colorado is targeting its efforts to reduce greenhouse gases and toxic air pollution on the major polluters, new research out of CU Boulder suggests that some smaller sources of pollution are still impacting Coloradans' health. CU researchers rode around Commerce City and Denver's El Rio Swansea neighborhood in a mobile lab. They did this in 2022, trying to pinpoint sources of air pollution. Now, obviously, Suncor, the refinery, is right in the middle of Commerce City. That's one of the state's largest polluters. But the mobile lab also tracked down smaller, more localized sources of pollution, like a small wood shop emitting toxic, cancer-causing chemicals like benzene. Researchers say those smaller polluters might not show up on the stationary air quality monitors that are miles away, or still a major source of pollution for their surrounding neighborhoods. Meteorologist Roland Robinson, I mean, that makes sense when you think about it, right? That there could be like small localized polluters, but obviously not what we focus on when we know that there's such enormous sources of pollution in the community.
Makes total sense. Absolutely. Well, over the next few days, we're going to hope for a lot of this pollution to kind of rise, but we will have a dome of high pressure over Colorado, and that's going to be due to actually Helene. That's causing a lot of havoc off into the southeast. What that means on the Colorado side of that hurricane is that we're going to see sunny, warm conditions stick around for the next several days. Right now, a live look over downtown Denver where we have sunny skies, 83 degrees, winds coming in from the east to southeast at 9 miles per hour. But as we take another look at our live radar, again, Helene causing a lot of rain, storms, winds all across the southeast. So that means on the west side of this system, we're going to see high pressure just sit over Colorado again for the next several days. So what that means is sunny skies and warm weather. Overnight tonight, we're going to stay pretty mild. Most of our lows in the 50s with some 40s off to the west. And then tomorrow we get even warmer, temperatures in the low 90s, which could mean records breaking for our Thursday. Then again on Sunday with these highs in the low 90s, we could meet or break a record on Thursday that was set in 2010 and a record on Sunday that was set in 1892. In between that, we're going to stay very sunny, very warm for the next 7 days.
This is the longest job I've ever held in my life, to be honest. So I don't know what I would do if it went under.
For some in Denver without a roof over their heads, selling newspapers isn't just a job, it's become a lifeline. They're trying to keep that paper from going under. Since the 1990s, the Denver Voice newspaper has given people experiencing homelessness opportunity by sharing their story in the newspaper or selling papers or both. Now the paper's vendors hope they can do more. They hope they can save the newspaper.
Hey Lando, how's it going? The status of the Denver Voice is that we have no money.
I'm almost finished, so hey, how you doing?
So the Denver Voice is a street paper, and that means that the people who vend our paper are experiencing homelessness or financial instability.
It kept me out of homelessness for a period of time.
I was homeless under the Boulder Arapahoe Bridge in '08.
I had to sleep on the streets for a little bit, and then I got placed at the Salvation Army shelter, and I'm still there now.
So Friday morning, our vendors came into the office to get their papers for September, and we told them, after today, we're shutting down.
When they told me that they were shutting down, I stayed in bed at the Salvation Army shelter for 3 days.
This is the longest job I've ever held in my life, to be honest. So I don't know what I would do if it went under.
It's real important for the Voice to stay open.
They know what the Denver Voice has been to them, and they know the benefit of having that income, however small. So no, they're not going out without a fight.
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to keep this paper going.
Oh, I know a lot of people ain't giving up.
I'm gonna do everything that I can as a vendor and as a writer.
I can't financially give money to them because I don't have it. But I could spread the word about it. People know what the paper's done for us vendors.
So what was going to be, we're done. It's now, we have to shut down for what we hope is only a month, but we're not done. And it really is that it's because of the vendors.
Because this paper means that much to me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and God bless.
Such a part of downtown, right? People saying, hello, Denver Voice. Marilyn, thank you. Your feedback is next. The Karen Clinic got started with Jeffco Schools nurses who knew that their students needed pediatric care. And that nonprofit continues its work decades later, serving families on Medicaid and families without insurance. Thousands of visits a year. Medicaid doesn't cover the full cost of their care, and then there are all those uninsured kids who need checkups and dental care and so forth. Scan the QR code on your screen or text the word THANKS to 303-871-1491 to join me and a bunch of other Coloradans in donating to this week's Word of Thanks micro-giving campaign. You'll see an option to donate just to this week's cause or sign up to make a monthly donation to support each Word of Thanks nonprofit we feature. Feedback from Tina in North Glen, Colorado's 8th Congressional District. I want your feedback, 8th Congressional District. What issues matter to you so we can bring them up in the debate? Tina says, can Marshall do a truth test on the Gabe Evans commercial that says everything related to immigration is Caraveo's fault? I'd like to know if his claims are correct. Tina, Marshall already did a truth test on that. I believe what he said was that claim was BS with a bow on it. You can see that full truth test on 9news.com. Nestor writes in about the Venezuela Ahead billboard that's gone up on Colorado's border, says this type of racism has become so normalized that we as a society will have to remain ever diligent about refusing this type of behavior. Nestor sent in a long, thoughtful note, talked about how that message and others like it present a danger to anyone who may have brown or black skin. We'll see you next time.